Welcome to this Miles by Foot tour of each of West Virginia's commercial airports. Although it's the 10th smallest state by size and 11th smallest by population, West Virginia has 7 airports providing commercial flights, and each airport differs considerably in terms of size and service, from a flight or two a day at some to dozens a week at others. West Virginia's nickname is the Mountain State on account of all the mountains. And let me tell you, after driving through the state, I'm pretty sure the only flat parts of West Virginia are the runways. Ground travel can meet with tolls, detours, or just nausea, so air service makes sense in West Virginia, no matter what part of the state you come from. Let's explore all 7 in the order I visited them. First is Huntington's Tri-State Airport, code HTS, serving western West Virginia. Despite Huntington's small size, it's the second busiest airport in the state, serving neighboring communities in Kentucky and Ohio too, just across the river. It's one of 2 airports in the state with American Airlines service, with 3 daily flights to Charlotte, 7 days a week, on 50-seat Embraer 145s. Allegiant Airlines has also made a home here, offering a daily service to their hub in Clearwater. Other weekly services are available too, including Floridian hotspots Destin, Punta Gorda, and Orlando Sanford, as well as Myrtle Beach, all on 156-seat A319s. The airport sports a landside cafe and rocker seating to enjoy before your flight. In 2020, despite the pandemic, HTS served around 300 passengers a day. Next, we head south to Raleigh County Memorial Airport, code BKW. BKW is just east of Beckley, hence its code, and its primary commercial service flies between Parkersburg in the northwestern part of the state and Charlotte, but it's not flying on American, it's on Contour. Contour is a public charter airline that flies narrow, decentralized routes around the country aboard 30-seat Embraer 135s. BKW's service is supported by the federal Essential Air Service program, which subsidizes commercial routes to underserved communities around the country. This route started in 2020 and flies twice daily between Parkersburg, Beckley, and Charlotte, except on Tuesdays and Saturdays when they fly only once. BKW has the distinction of being the only airport in the state whose traffic increased during the pandemic thanks to the Contour route, serving about 25 passengers a day, but it's a big airport for general aviation too. Less than an hour east of Beckley, as you approach the Virginia border, we come to Greenbrier Valley Airport, code LWB. The airport's located on US 219, just north of the city of Lewisburg, which gives the airport its code. LWB hosts United Airlines, offering daily flights to 2 of their hubs, Chicago O'Hare and Washington Dulles, less than 180 miles away. All of United's flights are federally subsidized and utilize 50-seater CRJ-200s. Out of all of West Virginia's airports, LWB was hit the hardest by the pandemic, serving an average of 20 passengers a day in 2020, 1/3 of their 2019 traffic. A bit of history. Greenbrier Valley Airport and the nearby Greenbrier Resort were part of a top-secret plan developed during the Cold War. In case of a nuclear strike on Washington, D.C., Congress and other government VIPs could be quickly relocated to a secret, fortified bunker built beneath the Greenbrier Resort. Had such an attack occurred, LWB would have suddenly taken in the entire federal legislature as they evacuated the ruins of our capital. Not that you'd ever think of such a grim timeline on such a gorgeous June afternoon. The busiest airport in the state is Charleston's Yeager Airport, code CRW, named for the late aeronautical pioneer and decorated Air Force Brigadier General Chuck Yeager, a West Virginia native, the world's first supersonic pilot, and someone on whom I could make an entire video. CRW is the only airport in the state to host all 3 major carriers, and it offers multiple daily services to their hubs. The airport serves about as many passengers as the other 6 airports in the state combined, averaging 500 daily passengers in 2020. Roughly half of CRW's flights are aboard American Airlines, who flies 65-seat CRJ-700s to 3 of their hubs. 2/3 of their flights go to Charlotte, while the other third is split between Washington National and Philadelphia. American flies out of Concourse C, found to the right after you clear security. From C, fellow aviation nerds can typically spot several C-130s and other aircraft of the Air National Guard based at CRW. To the left, after you pass security, you can go downstairs to Concourse A, home to United and Delta. United flies 2 daily services to Chicago O'Hare on 50-seat CRJ-200s. Delta supports 3 daily flights to Atlanta on 76-seat CRJ 900s on every day of the week except Saturday with 2 flights. They use gates in A as well as B1 upstairs. Spirit Airlines flies out of gate B2 on the largest commercial aircraft serving the state, their 182-passenger A320, to 2 destinations, Orlando 3 times a week and Myrtle Beach twice a week. If you're arriving at CRW, hopefully having enjoyed the mountainous approach, rental car service and baggage claim can be found to the right as you exit security, down the incline next to the bust of Chuck Yeager. There's also a cafe to the left of security as you enter security, and there's an observation deck upstairs above the ticketing desks, giving a panoramic view of the airfield and a place to relax before clearing security. One of my favorite things about West Virginia's airports are their low profile. Large airports in other states have their own ecosystems for miles in all directions, but even Charleston's airport is humble and low footprint. From CRW, we head north to Parkersburg, nestled in the northwestern part of the state along the Ohio River. Mid-Ohio Valley Regional Airport, code PKB, serves mostly general aviation flights but features 1 or 2 daily services to Charlotte via Beckley with Contour. Its terminal contains everything you need and nothing you don't: ticketing and baggage claim to the left when departing, and a single rental car agency to the right when you arrive. Contour and American have entered an agreement that allows your checked luggage to automatically transfer between carriers in Charlotte, making the transfer between airlines seamless. It's the quietest commercial airport in the state, serving about 15 to 20 passengers a day. About 90 minutes east of Parkersburg along the West Virginia Turnpike, we arrive at the bizarrely named North Central West Virginia Airport, code CKB, so named because it is, of course, east of Clarksburg. So North Central West Virginia Airport, east of Clarksburg. Perfect! CKB hosts 2 airlines, United and Allegiant. United flies to O'Hare and Washington Dulles, both flying once a day aboard 50-seat CRJ 200s. Allegiant offers 5 times weekly service to Myrtle Beach and twice weekly service to Destin on their A319s. CKB has the state's longest commercial runway at just under 1.5 miles, and that's because CKB's passenger service is only part of its portfolio. Several aerospace engineering and supply firms have facilities at the airport, including Pratt & Whitney and Bombardier, and they perform various aircraft-focused operations in their hangars here. CKB is a distant third in passenger numbers in the state, with around 100 passengers a day in 2020. Finally, we head about 45 minutes north to Morgantown Municipal Airport, code MGW. MGW has had commercial service on and off for the past 70 years, and their most recent tenant provides subsidized service between 2 much larger airports. As the home of the University of West Virginia, Morgantown is an intermediate stop for Southern Airways Express, a regional airline using 9-seater Cessna 208 Caravans connecting Pittsburgh and Washington Dulles on 3 weekday flights, going each direction, with 2 each on Saturday and Sunday. I took this trip myself from Dulles to Pittsburgh, and you can check out that video here. Arriving residents and students will recognize the high-visibility water tower right next to the airport as they land. MGW's frequent but low-volume service served around 20 passengers a day in 2020. Each of these 7 airports has its own identity based on the service they provide, their layout, their surroundings, and their history. Most importantly, though, each airport offers service to places outside of the state where it can be difficult to travel at a distance quickly. No matter what part of the state you live in, there's an airport a short drive away that can take you to new and exciting places. My hope for this video is that you can see an airport near you, and you can start to imagine where you can go, and what you can do to see something new. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to Miles by Foot. I publish airport, aviation, and travel videos every 2 weeks, designed to take the anxiety and guesswork out of travel, and to bring you along on the journey too. If you're thinking of traveling yourself, or you just enjoy the experience of seeing the world in as practical a way as possible, I hope you'll join me during my trips around the country to new and exciting airports and destinations. Until then, thanks for watching, and keep moving forward.